Our guest at 2:30 on Mondays, a.k.a. 2:30 today, which is a Wednesday every week, is Orange assistant basketball coach Red Autry. Red, thank you for being flexible with the schedule this week. We've had a lot going on, but welcome in here today.
Thanks. Yeah, I think we both schedules had to be flexible today, this week.
And a lot has happened since we last talked. Somehow it's only been like 9 days, and you've played 3 games here. So we can kind of hit them in order here because it's a 2-in-1 week, though I'm sure the Miami game is lingering more in your head because it's more recently. You take this week at large in your head, Red. How you feeling the team's playing right now? Because save for the last few minutes against Miami, you look at this week at large, it feels like you guys have taken a step up here of late.
Yeah, I believe we stepped up. We knew that this is going to be a big part of step up in competition, and not to say a step up, but it's challenging, going into this stretch of games, due to the teams, and also just the timing of trying to play and travel and get back going again with school coming back in. So we knew this would be a challenge. But overall, I thought, the last couple of games we've really played well. In this stretch of these 3 games, 2-1. Like you said, the Miami game was there. We competed for the most part, but just at the end, let it get away from us. Defensively. Not being able to rebound the basketball. Obviously, offensively, we had a couple of turnovers late that hurt us. But overall, I think we're playing better, and we're starting to understand what we need to do to win.
You look at the end of the Miami game, and Red, you said it, defense and rebounding. There was, the possession late, and Judah had the ball. We get it, and a chance to, tie the game at that point or win the game. Are you putting it, though, in the previous 10 minutes? Like, it felt like maybe you just shouldn't have been in that position, I guess, to even have to worry about the last play of the game.
Yeah, I think so. I think you got to look at when we took the 11-point lead, where we just kind of, didn't. We kind of stopped playing defense, so to speak. And then they got on the glass because we did a pretty good job for the most part up until the last 6 or 7 minutes of keeping them off the glass and getting second chance opportunities. I believe they got 7 points in that span, all for second chance points. So, I thought that even if we would have still played defense and then limited them to 1 shot and got the rebound and went down, and even if we didn't score, maybe the couple of times that they did score, maybe it would be a 5-point game, instead of closing the margin so fast like they did.
Yeah, they ended up, Miami did, with 15 second chance points in the game, which is not like a crazy amount, but it felt like they all happened at once. So it kind of added up real fast. Then Nigel Pack hit that 3 from like the middle of nowhere. Like you knew he'd pull up from there. How tough is it to guard guys when that's beyond the normal range of stretching a defense where you hit that shot?
Yeah, I mean, obviously watching the game, you see it, but then just going back on film, and he was really deep, and but guys can shoot from there now. We can't. That can't be the mindset anymore, especially certain guys. And that's a guy that we talked about that we didn't want to let him get open, clean, easy looks. And for the most part, up until late, we did a pretty good job of that. But I mean, the shot was deep, but we just can't let that happen. That just can't be an excuse. We just got to do a better job of making someone else do it. And he was the only one that was really hitting shots for them that day, that game. So we got to do a better job of identifying that and knowing what's going on.
Yeah, Pack ended up 5 of 9 from 3. Nobody else in Miami had more than 1 made 3. Isaiah Wong was only 1 of 5 from 3, which is certainly unusual for his normal game. So the defense was there on him. And, we got to talk about the last, real meaningful offensive possession of the game is, 20-some-odd seconds left. You get the ball, you're down by 2. It looked like Gerard was just being guarded by everyone Miami had, so Judah ends up with the ball. Take me through, and you know this from being a point guard, Red. What's it like being a young point guard in that situation, trying to make that play in the final seconds?
I think once the initial play that we couldn't get the ball to Joe because he was overplayed, like you said, they did a good job. I think is after that with the clock running down is you try to make the play. You try to make a play. And I think what you have to learn in that situation, because maybe that play in high school, maybe he gets the call, maybe they call a foul, but in college they typically don't do that, especially late in the game. They try to let the players decide it, and I think that's the learning curve that, Judah would have to learn in that situation, or any freshman in that situation. You want to get a shot up. That's the one thing I would say. You want to at least try to get a shot up, and that's where we didn't execute that. So when those things happen, the first thing is, once the first option is taken away, I think you immediately go to let me try to make a play.
Yeah, the possession started. What was it? It started with 20 some odd seconds left, and the play by Judah was about 10. So there were time left. How hard is it to grasp, I guess, the amount of time left? The clock's got to be moving kind of fast in your head with 10 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, when you get in those situations, where you got a chance to tie or take the lead, I think you want to try to shoot it with a reasonable time. You want to make the game a little bit longer. You don't want to rush to take a shot. You want to take the best shot possible. Mm-hmm. Ideally, you like to take it and make it, with the least amount of time, not giving them a chance. But also, you got to think, the timing has to be right. Where if you do miss it, you get a chance to get a rebound and put back in. If you don't, a foul, and just try to make the game a little bit longer. Hopefully, they miss a free throw and you get another chance at it. So almost a 2-for-1. But it's always tough in those situations because you want to get the best shot, you don't want to necessarily take the first shot. You just want to get the best shot, if that makes sense. So those things are kind of hard to balance out. But 10 seconds was, that's about right. Where if you miss it, you get a rebound. If you get a shot up there, you try to get a rebound and put back. Or if not, you foul and you still got 4 or 5 seconds to get the ball back.
That actually, and then that happened twice down the stretch. Go figure. They front rimmed 2 of the 4 free throws, and they both went in.
Yeah,
nothing you can really do about that, right?
They're supposed to miss those, but it didn't happen.
Yeah,
we would have liked for them to miss 1 or 2. So
if either one miss, at least then maybe you have a chance for a 3 to tie the game. But it's a heck of a performance for a while down at Miami, but got away down the stretch. Red Autry is our guest here. He'll join us every Monday, as Red does. But today joining us on Wednesday, a little schedule difference with the holiday on Monday and whatnot, is always brought to you by Apex and the 110 Grill, both in Destiny, USA. But Red, we got to talk Benny Williams. Did not play a ton in either of the 2 games prior to Monday. When you look at the wins against Virginia Tech and then Notre Dame over the weekend, we saw a lot of Malik Brown playing well. What did Benny do well for you this time out to earn those minutes on Monday night?
I think he settled in a little early. He kind of got to the glass early, and then he made a couple of shots. I thought that was for him. I thought that really kind of was encouraging for him and kind of kept him going a little bit. But I just thought, he was a little bit more active. He started off, got some early looks, and he was just kind of, just more active, I thought. And then in previous games, he got 2 offensive rebounds. Those are the things that he can do. He finished, I think, 5 or 6. He was a couple out there he could have got more. He could have got, but for the most part, I think he rebounded and he was active, a little bit more active. And that game against Miami than he was the previous 2.
Yeah, ended up with, what do you have against Miami? 12 points, 5 boards in the game, all told, for Benny. Is that something you can tell early in the game, Red, if Benny's having one of his active games? How quickly does that catch your eye once the game starts? It's game by game. It's not a one particular thing or one particular moment or a certain look. It's just game by game. Benny it's not, for him, this is like his first year around going through all of these things, being dependent on, and that's an adjustment, and that's what he has to understand, and I think he's starting to understand that more and more as we move into January. Just, right from the beginning, we got to be ready to go right from the beginning. I think, he's trying and he's making those steps towards that. Red, I think we talked about it last week, and we probably just need to start referring to these guys as like one name, like Chris Bell, Justin Taylor. Like, it's one guy you got out there the whole game, and then you figure out what you get from him, and you add it up, it's 11 points. It feels like every game now they're making these steps where you're getting double-figure scoring from the small forward spot. How good are you feeling about that spot now, maybe where you were at a month and a half, 2 months ago?
To be able to, like you said, get that production from that spot. If you went into this as going into this year, you knew Joe would be, solid. You knew you were going to get some contributions from Jesse. Then it was, obviously Judah, and our forwards. And that was the question mark, the mystery. I think they've started off a little slow in the beginning of the year, and I think, as of late, and the reason why we're playing better is because they're playing better. We're getting production out of that spot, and they're making some timely shots, some big shots. We just got to make some more plays on the other end, and I think we can really get ourselves going in the right direction. That's where I think the next big step has to be made at the forward position is on the defensive end.
And how can that happen during the season, I guess, is the question, right? With two freshmen, like how easy or hard is that to, figure that out at this point of the year when it's conference games at this point?
I don't think it's hard at all. I mean, you're in game action. We're watching film. We're breaking things down. They're seeing things now more live. I think sometimes it's more harder to get them to understand it going into the season because you don't have the footage, you don't have film, and you don't have things. Mm-hmm. They want to be good. They're smart. They understand now because it's game after the game, and then you got 2 or 3 days to watch film, and then it's game again. So I think their learning curve is a lot quicker during the season. It's not as hard as some people may think it is. But I think it's harder going into a season, especially for freshmen and new and first year players.
Adrian Autry is our guest, brought to you as always by Apex and 110 Grill. Both can be found in Destiny, USA. And Red, noon Saturday, Georgia Tech down in Atlanta. What do you make of this Georgia Tech team? They got a losing record. They beat Miami. That stands out. They've had some close losses since. Well, what is this team when you look at them right now?
Georgia Tech, typical, tough. They switch up defenses. Well coached. They're gonna be physical. They always have guys that can make shots. Good passing team, and they compete. It's conference play now. The records never give you an indication of if a team is good or bad. I think every night and every road game, home game in the ACC is going to be a tough battle. These teams are all good. You can make the case. You look at some of these teams' records and they say, oh, they lost 8 games. Well, maybe 5 or 6 of them are by, a total of 8 points. They could all be 8 or 1 point losses. No one's getting blown out. So tough game, tough challenge for us always. They switch up defenses. They're a physical team, well coached, good passing team on the offense. They got guys that can make shots, and they got a low post presence. They got good balance.
All right, Red. I got to know this, Red. One non-basketball thing for you as we wrap up. Noon game on the road. You'll be back at like a reasonable hour on Saturday. You going to kick back with any of the football this weekend, or no time for that?
You know what? My afternoon will all be determined by the results of this game.
That is a fair answer, Ed. That is a fair answer.
That's an honest answer.
No, that I trust is like you're not kicking back with like a pizza and a beer or something on Saturday night, right? If Saturday at noon goes wrong.
That's right. No doubt about it. But I'll be getting ready anyway. We got a quick turnaround. We'll have North Carolina in there, so I'll be getting ready for that anyway.
That's for sure. That's coming up on Tuesday, and we'll be talking to you again. We'll get back to our actual schedule next week. We'll be talking to you again, as we will be doing weekly going forward. Monday at 2:30. Red, thanks so much, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
All right, that is Red Autry, who joins us every Monday, even though today is a Wednesday. Brought to you by Apex and the 110 Grill. Both of them can be found in Destiny, USA. Thanks to Red for shuffling the schedule around this week to make up. We did not have the shows on Monday, and then I was not here yesterday due to the puking. We're done with that now. We're back here all week long, working a hard 3 days, getting on that grind, really grinding our way through the week. The fact that I was not here on Monday or Tuesday means we have not reviewed last week's picks. Is that good, bad, or otherwise? We'll tell you when we come back, talking more Giants at the end of the show with Charlotte Carroll from The Athletic, and we will get into yet another departure, it appears, from the Orange football coaching staff when we flip to hour number 2. All of that coming up this afternoon in the 315 all across CNY. It's QSportsTalk.com and ESPN Radio.